Hi teacher candidates, this is the video I promised to make for you regarding your Guiding Principles assignment, which is the major assignment for this course. I just want to review some of the main ideas and hopefully bring what we're doing in class so far and what we will be doing for the rest of the semester together and in a way that you will understand why the course has been designed the way it was. So if you have a moment to open your Guiding Principles assignment, you might want to do that at this time. And if you look at all of the modules, every module has that insert box, and the Guiding Principles assignment is in each one of those. You may want to pause this video at this time to take a look at that. So the Guiding Principles assignment is a way that you're going to demonstrate that you truly understand how to co-develop that culturally responsive learning community. If you look at the assignment, excuse me, I'm going to glance down here as I talk to you. There's a rubric in here. It's the major assignment rubric. That's how it's being introduced. But I'm not going to insult your intelligence and read those things. But it says produce an artifact. What everyone has done, and when it says artifact, I think that's kind of confusing language. Produce a paper. And originally it was about 6 to 12 guiding principles, but I would like to see that really narrowed to 6 guiding principles. And those 6 guiding principles must include what's listed here. It says, articulate your beliefs and related practices about. Now look at the categories there. These are all the categories that we have been doing our sharings in class around. With all of you facilitating the learning experiences. And also these are the categories that are the focus of our article. So you will see in each of those boxes the guiding principles rubric, the assignment, and you will see a bibliography. At this point in our learning, I hope the bibliography is going to make sense to you now, because that is going to have all of the articles at your fingertips in every single module on Canvas. That's very important. You don't have to search around, look around, what did I read, who wrote that article? They will be there from now on through the end of the year. You will use that in 2 ways. One is for the Guiding Principles assignments, which is the focus of our discussion right now. But you will also use that bibliography in your final PLA, which we'll talk about later. Okay, so as you scroll down here and you see those categories that are the foci of your work, you will also see in the document towards the bottom that you also have to convey with each guiding principle your wonderings about achieving and maintaining that practice or these practices in the classroom. That's key. It has to be in there. The other element that has to be with each guiding principle, not at the end, not culminating, but with each guiding principle, is a discussion of the literature that informs your guiding principle. That's where you're going to use the bibliography. It's all there for you to utilize. So in session 7, when we get back together face to face, we're going to be actually working on these in class time and playing around with these ideas. You'll notice in session 7 that there are samples. I'm not going to call them exemplars, but there are samples of previous student work around these guiding principles. I may change these samples before class. I probably will, because I had some last semester that I think may have been even more appropriate. So to finish up this discussion, these guiding principles will be submitted both in Canvas and on live text. So here's another reason to have that live text account finished up and ready to go, so we can access it at the end of the semester. If you scroll down and you see the actual rubric, again, I'm not going to insult your intelligence, but those are elements that must be included. Now, please listen to this. You may create one guiding principle for each element, or you may include a couple of elements under a guiding principle. It doesn't matter to me what way you go about it, But please know, I will be using this rubric to assess your work, and it is essential that you follow it and include these elements. So I hope that gives you a cursory view of the assignment. Once again, we'll be going into more detail in this in session 7. I just want to remind you of a couple of elements in your online work before session 7, before we meet face-to-face. And that is, the readings are critical. Chapters 3 and 4 in Vito are the essence of helping you to, let me bring this up here, helping you to develop, as it says in session 6, your proactive classroom management plan. And this you're going to share. Make sure you put this in the right place where it's asking you to do it, in the discussion section. And then instead of your partner responding to a video, your partner is going to respond to what you have listed as your proactive classroom management plan. And let me just say one thing about that. If you think about how Brenna, at the end of our last class, what she did for her students to try and create that community, those are the kinds of things we're talking about. What will you do before you have to actually enact sort of what we call more disciplinary actions of teaching that require modes of behavior that are jumping in situations like the student throwing the chair or something like that. Before any of that develops, what are you going to proactively create in your classroom to make sure you can avoid 95% of those problems? So Brenna made positive phone calls home on every single student. That's an excellent example of a proactive classroom management plan. So think about that, and I know you'll get the idea from Vito. The reading in here, the Grant and Zwier reading on intersectionality, that is critical to us. It really is trying to bring this picture together when you have multiple cultures, multiple points of view, multiple languages, and how we bring those all together to meet the needs of students. Absolutely tied in with the proactive classroom management plan. We know that next group is going to be sharing, so we hope you're getting ready. Let's see which group that is. That's the Sharing Power and Voice with all members of the classroom community. We'll be doing their half-hour presentation. We'll be reviewing these ideas from the readings, and we'll be working on our guiding principles assignment. There's a great deal to do. But it is excellent work, and it's going to make us well prepared for our classrooms in the urban community. Thank you for your time. I hope this is helpful. Have a great night.